But there's a colder form of abuse, one that doesn't pretend to care about you at all, it just owns you and calls that ownership fear, perpetrated by those who subscribe to the false belief that consent given under duress is binding, such as the pact Wyll signed with Mizora at 17 when he had the choice between signing or annihilation. The repulsive thing about Mizora is how she forever presents this to him afterwards as a choice, like there was some kind of alternative he could have taken. And while from a technical standpoint he could have, like us, Wyll's human, so from an emotional standpoint he couldn't. This is how Devils in the Forgotten Realm work as an institution, offering false salvation in exchange for perpetual servitude, then frame the transaction as equitable. What made Wyll especially susceptible to this kind of manipulation is that he was merely 17 at the time he signed the pact, and his sense of morality was built entirely from storybook heroism. Mizora has turned every act of his heroism into an act of obedience, tightening her rope because she's woven it through the thing he values most about himself. She found a teenager who believes that heroes must make sacrifices to protect the innocent, and created a scenario where the only way he could do so was to sign away his autonomy. We can see the totality of this binding when he speaks about his order to kill Karlach. It's something tactical to him, something he's never even considered refusing, because he knows what disobedience means, and years of subjugation has dulled his conscience. So how many other Karlachs has the Blade of the Frontiers cut down in the name of his fiendish patron? But what matters here is understanding that this corruption is incremental. Each compromise makes the next one feel smaller. The moral line has been gradually moved, so by the time he realizes how far he's been walking in one direction, he can't see the original line anymore. That's how institutional abuse works, the death of morality by 1,000 cuts. And that's where the game's accuracy of psychological depictions once again shines. Because breaking the contract means Wyll has to confront everything he built his identity around, and reckon with the truth that the hero of the coast was always following someone else's script. Breaking free of that script means discarding the cognitive shield that protected him from the full weight of his complicity, and that knowledge is more painful than any transformation. The father-son dynamic adds another layer of mental anguish because Wyll thought his sacrifice would earn his father's approval, but his father's reaction of exile compounds the trauma because it suggests that the price he paid was meaningless. So in Act 3, when Mizora offers him the choice between his father and his freedom, she's gouging that wound. And while it's not easy, there is a way to have both, but it requires rejecting Mizora's premise entirely. And that's the only way to win against institutional abuse, to stop negotiating on their terms.